up? What up? It's your boy DJ Naeem. I want to give a huge shout out. Going out to my Jersey boys, breaking down these UFC cards, baby. Let's go.
Got a little mama and she chillin' by the poolside. Fashion over drip, body done with a hair tie. Ex keep calling to that boy, he need to sit back. You don't got a bag, you can never get your chick back. Broke boys, we don't like them. Bad, 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 yeah, we pipe them. And I need some big money with some hype fans. Said I need some big money with some hype fans. Broke boys, we don't like them. Bad, 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 yeah, we pipe them. And I need some big money with some hype fans. Said I need some big money with some hype fans.
Check it. When I'm in Vegas, bring the drops out. Yeah. When I'm in Miami, bring the yachts out. Water, water.
Welcome back to the Jersey Boys podcast. We got a star-studded group of Hudson County boys here. So let's go around the horn here. Introduce ourselves. Drew, name and occupation. Go ahead.
Oh, what's up, guys? You guys know me already. Jiu-Jitsu Drew. Name Andrew. Occupation, choking people out and talking shit about it. So here we go. Let's get it.
T-Hops. What's up, brother?
What's up, buddy? First name's Thomas. They call me T-Hops. I'm considered the second mayor of G-Burg. You know, small town, but G-Burg. And you know, I'm a avid gambler, not degenerate, but just responsible gambling.
I'm a degenerate.
That's a degenerate, denying it.
Yep.
Michael, we call him Waldo, so I don't know when he became Mike, but go ahead, Mike. Introduce yourself, sir.
Mike, a.k.a. Waldo. I'm a full-time manager, part-time pimp, and I've always been a degenerate gambler. I just came back from Atlantic City earlier today, where my wife hit for 900 on the slot machines. I never play that shit. I usually play craps, roll the dice, and she hit big. She's happy. I'm happy. And now we're doing this podcast shit. Let's do this.
This guy's a liar. Okay, so let's go right to. We are not going to waste any time here, fellas. We're going right to the narrative and predictions for the game because, again, in my opinion, I believe that all the props are going to flow from what you think is going to happen in the game. So let's find out what's going to happen. So let's throw it to Andrew first. Drew, let's put up the line. So right now, currently on Bet Us, our line is Kansas City minus 3.5, and our over/under is 56. So give me a narrative for this game. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it seems pretty clear cut, especially with the way that the seasons have been going for both of these quarterbacks. If you look at Kansas City and Mahomes, and if you look at Tampa Bay and the Bucs, Kansas City has been the team that's been cruising pretty much all year long. You know, they've had a couple bumps in the road, but I mean, Kansas City, no matter what, you probably could have put a bet on it earlier in the year for them to be in the championship already. So, I mean, if you put that bet in, you probably already cashed just for them to be there. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, has been a question mark the entire season. Yeah, they had Tom Brady, but he was coming into a new system. He was coming in with a new team, a lot of moving parts, a lot of parts that came in late in the season. And, you know, here we are. I mean, it's literally a storybook season for Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucs. They've literally had a season where they were up, then completely down, where you thought, well, this is the team everybody thought that was going to be, where they kind of stumbled a little bit. And then Tampa Bay picked it up. But what's going to help them here, it's like the old adage says, defense wins championships. And that's where I feel like Tampa Bay has been upticking here in the playoffs. Tom Brady has thrown 2+ touchdowns in every game in the playoffs so far. So I'm leaning a little bit towards the Bucs here with that +3.5. I didn't even think it was even going to get that high, but it did. And with the 56, I don't know, but that's where I'm going now. I'll hear you guys out and chime in a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pass my judgment yet. I'm gonna put it around the horn. So T-Hops, unmute yourself. And what do you think here, brother? Agree, disagree? Tell him where he's wrong.
I 100% agree.
We got two.
I do not think Kansas City has played anybody good this year. If you look back a couple weeks ago, Drew Brees with no arm threw for 349 yards and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception versus the Kansas City defense. You know, I think getting back Antonio Brown, is he going to play? Is he going to be 100%? You got Brown, Godwin, Brate, Gronkowski, Evans, Miller now. You know, Fournette. Is Ronald Jones going to be healthy? the weapons are unlimited for Tom Brady. And, Kansas City's defense, the front has Jones, they have Clark, the backside, they have Breland, who's been playing well. Sorensen's going to come up with a big play. But I don't trust the Kansas City defense. I think Kansas City defense, I think they are frauds. I think they are very overrated.
Talk your shit, T-Hop.
And Kansas City, I mean, he's going to throw the ball to Kelsey. He's going to throw the ball to Hill. Who else is going to catch the ball? Is Watkins going to play? I do like Pringle, this kid Pringle. I do like him if he plays. He had a lot of 5 catches last week. Williams, he's going to run for 50, 60 yards, but they're going to throw the ball. Mahomes going to throw the ball, but that defense, Tampa Bay defense, is very, very good. You got Sue, you got JPP, you got Levante David. I think some of the question marks for Tampa Bay defense is in the safety position with Winfield, the rookie from Minnesota, and then Whitehead, he was hurt last week as well. The corners, Dean, they've been playing well, but I think they're going to get after Mahomes. They're going to pressure him. They're going to make him throw to somebody else. You got to bump Kelsey at the line. I actually like Tampa Bay money line over whatever it is, 56. I think they score maybe 70 points, but I think Tampa Bay money line, I can see Tampa Bay winning by 13, 14.
Those are some tough words by the second mayor of Guttenberg. Jesus.
Bro, that's the battery in the back I needed right there, baby.
All right, Michael, I'm going to call you Waldo because that's what I call you. But and for everybody who usually watches the show, Waldo lives in Secaucus, and we usually go to his house to watch the UFC events, the pay-per-view events. We were there last weekend. So, Wally, what do you think here, brother?
So I disagree with what Drew and T-Hops just said. So I don't disagree in the sense that Tampa Bay has a good defense and they have the ability to possibly stop Mahomes. I think the fact that Mahomes is going to have 2 weeks to recover from turf toe, he's going to be fully healthy. I think it's going to help. He's going to be able to scramble, hopefully get out of the pocket, and make some big plays. I think a big part of this is that I think Andy Reid's going to outcoach Arians. I don't think Arians is that great of a coach. Andy Reid's offense is very unconventional. They don't run 20 times a game. They probably throw 40 times a game. But when they do run, it's those jet sweeps, those off tackles with McCole Hardman. He's fast as hell. For me, keep an eye on him. There's a prop bet, which I know we're going to get into later, but there's a prop bet of who's going to finish with the most rushing yards. It's plus 3,300, McCole Hardman. I like that. Just throw $100 on it. He can bust. He busted one last week for 40 yards, so he can very easily bust one 40 yards and end up with the most rushing yards. But I think Andy Reid's going to outcoach Arians. I think they're gonna rush a little bit because they have to keep the defense honest. But Mahomes going to have a big game. Very hard to stop Kelsey. Hill's going to have a big game as well. And then Pringle will have a couple catches. Hardman will have a couple catches. If Watkins is in there, he'll have a couple catches as well. But we haven't seen anybody stop Kansas City all year. And they have two guys, basically. They have Kelsey and Hill, both unstoppable. They lost one game to Oakland, and they were in it the entire time. To me, the way to beat Casey, if you're going to beat him, is run the ball, which Tampa Bay hasn't done consistently, in a sense. The last couple of weeks, they had, I think, 11 or 12 rushes last week. The only time in the playoffs they actually did run was wild card weekend, and where Fournette had 19 plus rushes. So that's the way for me. I'm thinking is keep Casey's offense off the field, rush the ball, and then put up points that way. And honestly, Brady's old. He's played well, but he's still old. Get him on the ground, bump him up a little bit, rough him up, and I think that they'll be fine. I think the defense will hold up. So I think Casey wins. I would take him at -3, 3.5. I'd buy the hook, and I think it goes over. I think it goes over 56.
All right, so we just went around the horn. I didn't ask you guys a final score, and I didn't ask you guys if you bet this already, but that's how I'm going to start. So I already bet this. I took Chiefs -3. So again, right now on BetUs, it's -3.5. I would wait. I guarantee you at some point this week you can get -3 on BetUs or whatever site you're going to bet on. So I already have Chiefs -3, and I also took under 57.5. So I took the under. What was the over 56.5 right now? Was that the number? Let me look.
It depends on what site you look, but I saw 56 earlier.
Yeah, and 56 is what we have on Bet Us. So if you're on Bet Us,
56.
you're going to have to go under 56. So those are the two numbers that I have. I don't know if you're going to be able to get under 57.5 at this point. But here's my narrative for the game. I think that this game has already been played this season, right, in Week 12. Neither team has lost a game since Kansas City won that game. I believe it was 27-24. I believe the first quarter score was 17-3. Tampa Bay came back throughout the course of that game, and it ended up being a 3-point spread. I think that the issue that Tampa Bay is going to have is that they know that they cannot play Tyreek Hill one-on-one. And if you go back to that Week 12 game, Tyreek Hill set I believe it was the first quarter or first half, record for receiving yards by, obviously a wide receiver in the first half of a football game. I believe that was the stat that he broke. He had like 200 and something receiving yards in the first half. He took the top off the defense. And with that being said, since he took the top off the defense in Week 12, they had to play a lot more zone. And that's why my narrative is that they're going to play zone here. And I think the game really comes down to two things. How well is Tampa Bay going to be able to run the football? So I forget who said it earlier. If they run the football, I think it's going to be a slower pace game. And I think that the under hits without a doubt. If Tampa Bay struggles to run the football, I think that Kansas City is going to get the ball way too often, and that just spells way too much trouble. I mean, Mahomes could throw for 3-4 touchdown passes. So I think it really has everything to do with Tampa Bay being able to slow the game down and putting Kansas City in positions to have to start their drives deep in their own side of the field. So I think that's what we're looking at here. But I think we're looking at a lot of zone defense by Tampa Bay. So when we get into these props, you're going to hear me saying Travis Kelce's name on every one of them, because zone defense, Travis Kelce is just uncoverable in my opinion. So let's get into those props, quarterback props, and again, this is a big part of this game. So Drew, I'm going to send it back. We'll just keep going around the horn, so nobody nobody has to speak out of turn here. But Drew, the quarterback props that you like, let us know Mahomes, let us know Tom Brady. And then the other thing that could play a role here is I believe Kansas City is going to be without their starting left tackle and right tackle, right?
For sure, yeah.
So in this game, we're talking about quarterback props. Well, the first thing that I mentioned, if you heard me earlier when I was talking, Bet US right now, I'm actually staring at it, which it's a little bit high, but I mean, if I mentioned earlier that Tom Brady has had over 2 touchdown passes in the last 3 games in the playoffs leading up to this game, and on Bet US they have the prop for over 1.5. It's at minus 220, but I mean, if you want something more sure than that, I'd say that's taking money to the bank with that. And then if you want it at plus money, which is at plus 115, it's over 2.5 right there, which I think that's money in the bank as well. You guys thinking that it's going to be run heavy? We will run, but remember, we're in Tampa Bay, in Tampa Bay's home, which is for the first time that a team has ever done that, a true home field advantage. So Fournette has not only been surging, he has fresh legs, dude. I mean, compared to a lot of running backs in the league leading up to this game right here, he has the freshest legs. He has the freshest body. He's utilized, or better said, he hasn't been utilized as much as other running backs leading up into this game, which is, he can pretty much leave it all out there on the field in this game, which I feel he's going to do. And he's been playing really, really well, getting first downs when they need him. But I digress. We're talking about quarterbacks here. So if we're going to talk about touchdown passes, this is where I kind of disagree with you, because I feel like both quarterbacks are going to have at least 2 each. So I'd see this being a high scoring game. So I'd probably have to go with the Tom Brady, my favorite one, over 2.5 at plus 115. Probably throw a nice like $100 on that if you want to go max bet it, or a couple units, whatever you want to do. But that's my favorite bet when it comes to the quarterbacks right there.
All right, T-Hops, what do you think here? I got the Mahomes props up. Anything on Mahomes, or should I go over to Brady? Let's see those lines.
I have nothing on Brady. I'm all in on the Bucks right now. So I have nothing on Mahomes. I think I have 3 that I like on Brady. To Drew's point, I do think, he's going to spread the ball around. If they're going to win the game, Godwin's going to have to score. Evans is going to have to score. You know, if Brown is in, he's going to have to score. Gronk or Brait is going to have to score. I see over 2.5 touchdowns. I got it at plus 125. I also like Brady. Throw. I know he's old, but he's going to throw the ball. And to Mike's point, yes, Bruce Arians is going to be out-coached. But, you know, Brady's going to coach the game too, and he's going to throw the ball. So I like Brady over 350 passing yards at plus 250. And I think the last prop I have is Brady 300 passing yards and 3 TDs plus 220.
That's a hell of a stat. That's going to be MVP territory. Wally, what do you think there, brother?
Wally,
All right,
where'd you go?
Sorry, I was on mute. So the only prop that I looked at from a QB perspective was who's going to throw for more yardage. Thinking in the narrative that I said, you know, I think Mahomes will have more yardage. It was minus 155, just straight up head-to-head. Obviously, if they take a big lead, then Tampa's going to have to throw the ball more. But like I said, to the narrative that I spoke to earlier, I think they're going to have to run. I think Fournette is going to get carries. So I think Mahomes will have more passing yards. So minus 155, head-to-head, I think is a good bet.
All right, I'm trying to find the stat. I don't see it. I don't see it on the website right now, so I'm not going to put it up there. But the one quarterback prop I took was Mahomes to throw an interception in this game is plus 145, and I think that Mahomes is gonna throw a pick. They're playing zone. I can see maybe a little bit of an overthrow, you know, hit somebody's hands like one of those tip interceptions. So I think at plus money, Mahomes, I think that's a good prop there. I don't see it on the site right now, or I bring it up for you. But again, I think it's important to know that Kansas City's playing without their left tackle, who just got hurt last week, right? I think it was an Achilles or something last week. And then I believe they're also without their right tackle, but he's been out a few weeks now. So they're without 2 starters. Again, Mahomes is best on the run. He's very good, eluding defenders coming at him, eluding the blitz. But for the most part, he's going to be in a tough spot if he's playing like that for 4 quarters. So I think that he will be under pressure. I think he will be moving. And who's a safety blanket is Travis Kelce. So going into player props, I think that he's going to wind up finding Kelce. I just think that at some point they're going to get to him. They'll be able to get a tip or a couple sacks. But I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Kelce. Drew, let's get back to you and let's talk about player props. I like Kelce. You and T-Hop seem to be on Tampa Bay. So with that narrative, who are you focusing on? Maybe first touchdown, maybe a touchdown within the game. T-Hop's threw out a bunch of names that he thinks has to score. Who are you betting on to score, get those yardage, get those receptions?
Well, on BetUS, you can't really parlay. And just so you guys know, everybody listening, I love to parlay everything. If you guys don't know that, now you know. But if I had to parlay anything, or if I had to make it straight or whatever it is, my 2 favorite player props would have to be Mike Evans to score. He's pretty much scored almost every game in the playoffs, I think. And Cameron Brate. He only stung me one time where he didn't score. But last week he scored. I hit on him. And I hit on his receptions, which right now I think he's over 2.5 for receptions. I was just looking at it right now for Cameron Brate. He's at 2.5 at minus 145. That's why I said if you wanted to parlay him and Mike Evans to score, I think you'd have a nice little ticket there, nice little come up. Also, if you want to throw in Cameron Brate to score, he's at plus 350. So that alone, if you want to throw a little $25-$50 on it or whatever, that's a nice little return. Those are my 2 favorite player props right there. Of course, Travis Kelce is almost like I don't want to say given, because I remember thinking Nick Chubb was going to score almost every game, and he didn't the one time I really needed him to. So who knows how he's going to do this game, especially since Travis Kelce is going to be one of those guys who's really going to be keyed in on, I feel like. So, but nonetheless, if my favorites are going to be Cameron Brate, I'm riding him pretty heavy, I'd have to say. And look out for Scotty Miller, too, being kind of sneaky there. He has over 1.5 receptions, I know he was a little hurt. I think he finished the game with a broken leg, I heard, or something like that, or a really messed up leg. But I think he could get 2 receptions because he's not going to miss the Super Bowl. So Cameron Brate, Mike Evans, and if you want to throw in a little little sneak 1 unit, half unit on Scotty Miller to score, that'd be pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think Scotty Miller only had 1 catch last week. It was a big catch, right? It was that big touchdown right before
right before the half.
That was his only catch in that game. Those Cameron Brate stats are available. Again, Orange X3 came at us with a question tomorrow. I'm making my first bet at the sports book and more of a statement. So again, he needs a bet. T-Hops, give him a bet. What are you thinking here?
I do like the Scotty Miller, over the 1.5 receptions based on Antonio Brown playing or not, and how healthy he is.
Just an aside, he did not practice on Friday. Okay, ahead, T-Hops.
So a couple of touchdown scorers that I like, even though I like Tampa Bay, I like Pringle. I like Pringle from Kansas City. I think he's going to get involved. He had a couple of catches last week. I think he's plus 400 to score a touchdown. So I like that one. I like Brate. I like Gronkowski to score a touchdown at 220. I do like the rookie from Minnesota. I think his name is Johnson on Tampa Bay. Right now he's plus 600 to score a touchdown. He made a hell of a catch last week in Green Bay. So I do like him. And then there's 2 other ones that I do like with touchdown scorers. First touchdown scorers. I love betting on first touchdown scorers. And right now I have in my mind, if Tampa Bay scores first, I like Antonio Brown at plus 1,800. And I like
Savage.
Chris Godwin at plus 1,100. I think they're gonna double Evans, or they're gonna take away Evans. They're gonna throw it to somebody else. Brate too can be a first touchdown scorer, but I really like Godwin or Brown scoring the first touchdown. Brady has a really good, looks like, connection with Godwin and Brown when they play.
So T-Hop, I'm trying to go as fast as I can to show everybody the odds here. So some of the numbers that T-Hops is throwing out, maybe a little bit off. Again, these numbers change. But again, he had Johnson. I believe that was to score a touchdown. That was plus 550. I think you mentioned plus 600. And you had Antonio. What did you have? What number did you have on Antonio Brown first touchdown?
Plus 1,800.
Okay, we got plus 1,500 on bet us.
And Godwin plus 1,100.
And Godwin here, you see it before me, plus 1,200. So you can get a better number on that one.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think here, brother?
So from a touchdown prop perspective, I wasn't getting into too much of the first touchdown props, but I was looking at just who I think is going to score. I think Kelsey's going to have a big game, so I like him to score. He's out. When I saw him, he was minus 175.
Yeah, that's what we still have. I just put it up there for you if you can see.
Yeah, so minus 175. I think Fournette's going to score plus 105. There was a prop that I saw where 2 players will score, and so Fournette and Kelsey was, I think, plus 250 on another site. And then I really liked Fournette and Ronald Jones both to score for plus 900. Again, just going back to that kind of run-heavy thought process for Tampa, in my opinion. If they get down there inside the 10, I think they'll run. They'll try to pound it in. So I like that plus 900 for getting both of them to score, especially since Ronald Jones does get the ball on the goal line a lot.
So I'm gonna piggyback off what you were saying. I'm just gonna talk touchdowns right now, and then maybe we can go back around the horn and talk some of the other exotic props that you may like, maybe even receptions and stuff, because nobody's really referred to that yet. But I've already bet Fournette to score first touchdown plus 1050 is what I got on that. I do have Kelsey to score 2 touchdowns at plus 400, and then Mike just made reference. Honestly, it's the only site that I've seen has it. Bet Us has a nice set of props, and when I throw it back to Drew, I'll put the props up there, so maybe you guys want to talk about it. But I've already bet Kelsey and Fournette to both score is plus 260, and then Kelsey and Evans to both score is plus 190. So they basically give you a little parlay there. They give you for 2 guys to score, and I just think that those guys are going to be the ones to score. I guarantee you Kelsey scores a touchdown. I all but guarantee it. So there's just no way that I don't think Kelsey goes nuts in this game. So I got Kelsey and Fournette plus 260 for a half a unit, actually a full unit. Kelsey and Evans plus 190 for a full unit, and then I have a half a unit on Kelsey to score 2 touchdowns at plus 400. I also have Kelsey over 8.5 receptions. Earlier in the week, I saw it at 7.5. Unfortunately, Bet Us, the first time I saw it come up on Bet Us, it was 8.5, so I just hit it then. And then Kelsey, some other, books have it all over the place. I saw 92.5 yards. I actually hit it on Bet Us for over 100.5 yards. So those are my bets. I don't think I got a great line with that yardage number. But I just think Kelsey's going to go nuts. So I hit him for everything. So Drew, what do you think here? Any other props that you like in this game? I got one more that I'll give next time around. But what are you thinking here?
Chris Godwin and McCole Hardman to score at plus 700 on Bet US. That's slightly lean. I just saw that right now because I'm kind of I'm new to Bet US, so I'm just checking out all their props. And also, just to chime in a little bit on what I was talking about earlier, right on break, just to give you an idea. 2 weeks ago, right? Last week when I hit him to score, he was at plus 550 or almost 600, right? The week before that, he was at plus almost like 1,100, 1,200. Right now on Bet US, and I've only seen it on Bet US so far, for him to score, it's only at plus 250. So that just goes to show you that he's more involved in the game. He's more involved, pretty much in the game plan now. Why? Because I feel like what they have to do with Gronk for him to be successful in the game is limit his playing time, limit his snaps. Put him in when you really need him, when you need a crucial down or a crucial touchdown or whatever it is. Because, I mean, Gronk, outside from one 33-yard touchdown pass catch or whatever it was, he hasn't really done much. He's just been a really blocking tight end this season. But, this is a Super Bowl, so balls to the wall. I feel like everything's on the table here. So my favorite prop bet other than that would have to be Chris Godwin and McCole Hardman at plus 700. I'm probably going to take that for them to score. And then, of course, heads or tails. I'm taking tails, bro. Minus 110.
T-Hops, I'm gonna throw the numbers up there again for both players to score because it seems like you like a lot of these Tampa Bay guys to score. So maybe you like some of these. You know what I mean? If you take a guy like
I like Evans and looking at it real quick, Godwin. I like Evans and Godwin at plus 350.
I thought you would like that one. Yeah.
Take me right now. Bet me right now. Like put a mortgage on it. Because
a mortgage. Jeez.
Damn, I'm down.
I just think that, they're going to control the game. I just think that they're just going to throw the ball. I also like, I've seen one, Evans, 5 receptions and 1 touchdown at plus 270. That's one that I like. And then I just was looking at one right now for you, Steve, that I've seen, Kelsey to get 8 receptions plus 1 touchdown is plus 120. I also see Kelsey to get 90 plus receiving yards and Kansas City Chiefs to win at plus 150. So I know you said you're all in on Kelsey. So those might be 2 good ones for you. But yeah, I like Godwin and Evans at plus 350. If I can get Miller and maybe Godwin at plus 600 or 700, that's another one that I would look to take as well.
And again, the props keep coming out, so sometimes you're a little behind. But T-Hops, I just wrote it down. I don't know if everybody saw me. I love that one. 8 catches and a touchdown.
8 catches and a touchdown plus 120.
Awesome. Wally, what are you thinking here, brother? I'll put those numbers back up here if you got anything else. I got one more prop for everybody. But what do you think?
So from a prop standpoint, I'm very heavily vested in Fournette. I genuinely believe that for Tampa Bay to have a chance to win this game, they're going to have to take the playbook that the 49ers did last year, which was run heavy. They were running all over KC. If you think back to that game, they were up big in the end. Fourth quarter, KC shut the run game down, forced San Francisco to throw, and Jimmy G couldn't come up with the first down, and they came back to win the game. But the first 3 quarters, they were running a lot, right? So I think Tampa has to run Fournette. I love his over 48.5 yards. It's 48.5 minus 118. Then they have another prop carries over 11.5 carries at minus 112. which I love. And then if you want to get a little crazy, they have an over 11.5 yards first quarter rushing, and I think that's minus 112 also. Love all those. I think they're going to give them the ball. I think they have to keep Casey's offense off the field. It just makes sense. Why would you want to give Mahomes and that offense more possessions? If you can slow down the game a little bit, grind out some yardage, set up play action for Brady, which he loves to do, then throw the ball. So I think run heavy Fournette is the way to go. So those are the 3 prop bets that I have. So I think Fournette will get over 48 yards. I think he'll get plenty of carries in the beginning. And if it works, then they have a chance to win. If it doesn't work, then Casey went away with it, in my opinion.
Wally, I just saw something that you might like because you're all over Fournette. Here it's got Fournette 50-plus rushing yards and 1 touchdown plus 170.
I like that. I do like that. I think he will
like
get.
that.
I think he will get over 50 yards, and I think he'll score. I think when they get down there, because I think Tampa Bay's going to put a point. They'll put up in the 20s at least. So when they are down there inside the red zone, he's going to get the ball. My biggest fear with that is that if they're inside the 5, they tend to bring in Jones, and he gets to vulture some touchdowns. So that's my only fear with that. But I think Fournette will get the carries from 20 to 20.
They also have a tendency to use the height, right? Gronk comes into play with his height, and Mike Evans also with his height. But again, Chris McGowan, thank you. Great analysis. Obviously, he's talking to you guys, not me. Anybody else who's watching wants to post a comment, by all means, we'll go around the horn one more time and give these guys a chance to answer some questions. But the one bet that I did make, not even that exotic, but a little exotic, is the Chiefs' second half points over 13.5. I already hit that one. It was minus 155. I really like that bet. I have a feeling that it may, depending on, I mentioned it earlier, depending on how Tampa Bay comes out, if they're able to have some success and run the football again, I think that they're going to get the ball first. I do think that's going to happen. I think Chiefs will get the ball to start the second half. And I think over 13.5 in that second half is a great play on the Chiefs. I think they'll score that. And if you remember back to last year's Super Bowl, defense was very good, and Chiefs scored a lot late. I remember I was probably losing money going into that fourth quarter. That fourth quarter, I had the right guys scoring touchdowns, the right guys getting yardage, and I wound up winning a few $1,000 last year in that fourth quarter alone. Now, with that being said, the one other thing that I'm going to throw out there as exotic, and these are going to be my last statements about this, is I think there's going to be a defensive touchdown. So, again, if you guys want to throw out, a little bit of a betting strategy here, but if you look at these 2 picks right here, if you look at Chiefs DST to score is plus 350, and if you look at the Buccaneers DST to score is plus 375. I think if you play both of them, that's not a bad play. If you put an equal bet on both of them, I think one of those defenses is going to score. I see that happening. So that's one way to play that if you think there's going to be a defensive touchdown. But what do you guys think? Let's get back to Drew, and then we'll kind of finish the show off. What do you think, Drew?
So, thanks, Chris. Orange, I hope we gave you a good bet. If you have good luck tomorrow, placing your first bet. But I don't know, man. My favorite thing here, if I have to lean towards anything, it's going to be Cameron Brate, man. Like Wally, how he's heavy on Fournette. I'm kind of heavy on Cameron Brate. I've been heavy on him. Last week I was heavy on him. I hit a little bit on him. He just didn't get the yardage that I needed, but it was all good. But for me, I like Cameron Brate to score. If I haven't found the line, but if there's a line for him to score twice, I'd probably bet that. And that's probably going to be at like plus, I don't know, 1,000, 1,100, something like that. So I'd probably throw like a unit on there, half a unit just to get risky. But, it's Super Bowl, so everything's on the table here.
Drew, I have it up there for you. Player to score 2 or more touchdowns in the game. Cameron Brate is plus 1,700.
Look at
That's
that.
the score 2 touchdowns.
So for me, I'd throw a little unit on there, maybe half a unit. Me personally, I'm probably going to throw a unit because I'm that confident in Cameron Brate to have a good game. I just see him being utilized a lot in this game. Only because of the way that he's been trending. He's been more of the group now. He's been more of the system now. And Tom Brady, considering his pieces now with Antonio Brown possibly out for this game or limited, he's going to have to lean on the run and on the short passes, which in history we all know Tom Brady is the king of, setting up the short passes, hitting you 5 yards here, 8 yards here, and just getting it done. I don't know, man. I just feel really good for the Bucs. Everyone's really rolling hot with Kansas City. It's almost like the easy bet here, rolling on Mahomes. But I don't know, man. I see Tom writing a storybook ending to the season.
And again, don't get me wrong. Tampa Bay has been hot too, right? I mean, they think about last week's game. They score on a couple of interceptions. They score on a couple turnovers. The turnover late, right before the half, he hit Scotty Miller in the end zone. We thought that they were just kind of trying to get a few yards to get a first down and put them in the field goal range. He hit Scotty Miller in the end zone for a touchdown. So, they've had some things rolling for them. T-Hops, closing remarks. What do you think here, brother?
I got some exotic plays that I forgot to mention. Let's see. I got first scoring play. If the Chiefs get the ball, I think they're going to go down and kick a field goal. That's at plus 400. If Tampa Bay gets the ball, first scoring play, I see them scoring a touchdown. That's at plus 200. I also got the shortest successful field goal, under 27.5, minus 115. As you know, Kansas City is, in the regular season, they were the third worst team in the red zone. So, Tampa Bay defense is very good. And I got the first successful field goal as well, between 1 and 22 yards at plus 800. So those are just a couple of exotic bets that I have. Once again, I'm just going to go all in on Brady. To Mike's point, I think he made a great point. Coaching wise, Reed is going to outcoach Arians. I think that it can be true, but Brady is the GOAT. He's back in there again. How many more times is he going to be back in the Super Bowl? I think he's going to make this one count. And I think he's going to play really good. I think Mahomes is going to play really good too. I think it's going to be a really back and forth, game, points here, points there. I just hope Brady pulls it out. Even though I'm a Giants fan, I really hope Brady pulls it out, man. I really do.
Yep. Oh, there he is.
All right. So I don't really have anything sexy or exotic as far as from a parlay. Again, the touchdown props that we spoke about earlier, I really like Kelsey. I think you can put Kelsey with anybody. Kelsey to score or Kelsey with anybody else like Fournette, Godwin in a tandem touchdown parlay or prop bet, and I think they'll hit. I do see a lot of touchdowns being put up, but I really, really, really love. And again, it's not a sexy parlay or prop bet by any means, but I really love Fournette. It's my earlier narrative. I said KC gives up 120 yards in a regular season on average. So I think that Fournette's going to get a ton of carries. So I really like his over 11.5 carries for the game. And I really love his over 48.5 yards for the game. I think those are sure bets. Run heavy, set up that play action pass for Brady so he can get down the ball down the field. But I think they're going to have to run and keep Mahomes on the sideline to win this game.
Yeah, you're on mute, Steve. Yeah, you're on mute, bro.
My bad. T-Hops, I got to put you on the spot here. Jimmy Bianco messages me early in the week. I'm in a group chat with him with a bunch of the Hudson County guys. And he goes, the Chiefs secondary is the best Tom will see all year. All right, Mahomes ain't old man Rodgers. So that's a second thing. You see my son there running around with his diaper there. And then he goes, Kansas City defensive coordinator, which our Giant fans know is Spags, has already beaten Tom twice as a defensive coordinator with the Giants. So that's a little football coach, Hudson County legend Jimmy Bianco giving you. He's all over the Kansas City Chief. I had to throw it in your face there. So I know you're the second mayor of Guttenberg. But the one thing that I'm going to do, I have 9 bets placed already and T-Hops gave me another bet. So if I can find that, I'm gonna put that together. I will post it on. You can see the Twitter feed on the bottom. I will post all 9 or 10 of my plays if I'm able to get in on that one. If you guys want to send me the plays that you make, I'll put together a little post it for everybody so everybody can see everybody's individual plays. And good luck with your Super Bowl picks. Appreciate you watching us.
What up, what up? It's your boy DJ Naeem. I want to give a huge shout out. Going out to my Jersey boys, breaking down these UFC cards, baby. Let's go.
Got a little mama and she chillin' by the poolside. Fashion over drip, body done with a hair tie. Ex keep calling to that boy, he need to sit back. You don't got a bag, you can never get your chick back. Broke boys, we don't like them. Bad, yeah, we pipe them. And I need some big money with some hype fans. Said I need some big money with some hype fans. Broke boys, we don't like them. Bad, yeah, we pipe them. And I need some big money.